All right, let's do this. All right. I want to name some names. I'm going to fire off some names for you.
Okay. Word association?
Just wait for a second. Producer man, Cash, don't open any images just yet until I get to the last one. So, because this might be, I don't want to confuse my guy. I just want to read some names to you and the people on Facebook and Instagram, and stop me when you recognize a name, okay?
Let's go chime in,
Let's
everybody.
go, Daniel Robinson. Jelani Day. Keisha Jacobs. Khadijah Rose Brighton.
Is this an episode of fucking Key and Peele?
How about Maria Alvarez? Dulce Maria Alvarez.
Nothing.
Okay, what about Gabby Petito?
Yeah, Gabby
right.
Petito.
All right,
Yeah.
so Gabby
That's
Petito,
everywhere
every
right
guy
now,
name
right?
is there. Yes, Gabby Petito is like trending all over worldwide news because she has was what had been missing for some time, and then obviously they found her body, and we all know that story, and we're not really here to talk about that particular story, but it's a crazy story and it's freaking self.
It really is.
And my heart goes out to her family and everyone involved and affected by that case because nobody even knows exactly what happened yet.
right.
But it ain't good. So, but what we want to talk about is what like came from that, right? You know what I mean? So we know on September 11th, Gabby's body, or Gabby was reported missing, right? And her body was found on the 19th, all right? And this was after a national effort to find her body, okay? So it, and let me give a little disclaimer here, because even though we're going to talk about disparities between race and missing persons, I want to say that Gabby Petito's case is particularly special because online sleuths and social media has become more and more active in solving missing persons and murder mysteries in recent years.
Like
there's
real
podcasts.
life.
If you listen to podcasts, if you listen to us, you probably listen to a murder mystery podcast. And so people from TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all have kind of contributed to making this become like a worldwide sensation.
Yeah.
And the quick discovery of her body and kind of not solving, but at least finding, leads to this case. Well, anyway, what this has done is it sparked a big focus and a big conversation about tens of thousands of missing persons cases across the country of color who have not been getting this kind of attention, okay? So it's raising questions about why white people, when they go missing, they garner so much attention, and how come when people of color, they don't, especially blacks and people of an indigenous
I bet you didn't think about that one.
Yeah. So right now, I read a thing that really messed me up. 64,000 black missing girls right now.
64,000.
64,000 open cases right now
in
of
50
missing black
states.
girls.
Holy shite.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is over, a long period of time. But the numbers are crazy. So I'm going to give you some information about those names I gave you. Daniel Robinson, right? This guy right here, I got a picture of him. He's a black geologist. He went missing after leaving a work site in Arizona.
Okay.
So, right? He went missing after leaving a work site in Arizona on June 23rd. His father's been in Arizona for months now looking for his sons with volunteers and independent investigators that he's had to pay. And they've had little help. They've been able to find his car and some materials or whatever, but nothing. Like we said, nobody's heard about this.
This was the first time I've heard his name, saw his face, knew his story. Yeah. And you said geologist, so this is not just like,
It's not just some hood kid.
Exactly. Street. When that's where people think of black kids missing. You think it's some hood stuff. But no, this is a educated black man. And he's gone missing. Yeah. Where's the attention there?
Exactly. And you're absolutely right, JB. You hit the nail on the head. A lot of times, and we have statistics on it that we'll get to in a little bit, but a lot of times, the first thing that people think, unfortunately, at least I can't speak for everybody, but it is believed, okay, that the first people think of when blacks or minorities go missing, that is related to some kind of drug or criminal violence.
Yeah.
So His father was quoted as saying, "It's hurtful to see a young white woman's case met with more urgency and national attention than his son, who is black." So he's among the black and brown families whose loved ones remain missing and say that they have struggled to get their attention on their cases. Some say they've grown frustrated watching the search for a missing white woman like Petito to be the spotlight, while police appear to allow their cases to go cold or classify their loved ones as a runaway.
Really? Okay.
So, yeah,
That's something you don't think about.
Yeah, a lot of police will say, well, they probably ran away or you know, they're
because we
probably on
talked about
drugs,
that
so,
at the level of the police. Where's is that where the difference is? Is that the difference at the level of the police? Is the police giving
You're
more
asking all the
attention?
right questions. I love it. I love where your head's at. And we'll talk more about that. Let me give you another name. Jelani Day. All right, so this young gentleman, he's a 25-year-old graduate student at Illinois State University. He was reported missing on August 25th in Bloomington, Illinois. So this is a graduate student. That means master's degree.
Exactly.
You know, he's already earned his bachelor's. He's educated, right? His mother, Carmen, says there's been no urgency or drive to find him. I mean,
There you go.
right?
I mean,
this is August, right?
yeah.
Mind you, Petito was found in less than 2 weeks.
In less than a week.
right.
I think it was 8 days. Yeah, 9 days.
The next one, Keisha Jacobs. Good call. Keisha Jacobs has been missing since September 26, 2016. She left her family's apartment in Richmond, Virginia. Her mother, Tony, said police initially suggested that Keisha was ignoring her mother's calls and likely wasn't missing.
So the cops told her that she wasn't missing.
Yeah,
Come
she
on.
said she was ignoring your
That's
calls
not
and
the
she
right
wasn't missing.
attitude, man.
However, 14 months after, right? 14 months after Keisha went missing, police said they suspected foul play.
For a year. You think? You think any evidence is now available? Any
So
come on.
you had to be missing for over a year
No,
before they
it's-
start to
it's-
think otherwise.
It's the wrong attitude. It's the wrong attitude to
Are
the.
we all
the-
surprised,
No, we're
though?
not. But that's the point.
Jacob
That's
said it's unfair that Keisha, who was only a year younger than Gabby Petito when she was
Right.
vanished, did not receive the same intense search effort
Exactly.
and publicity as Petito. I got more names. I'm trying to fire through them so we
Go
can give
ahead.
our opinions. You
ahead.
know what I mean?
I got it.
Khadijah, and I can't name enough, right? We could spend episodes on this, but these are ones that just kind of touched me because I picked them up from various news sites and from the FBI website itself. Khadijah Rose Brighton. So this young lady's a Native American, all right? She went indigenous species, okay? She falls species, indigenous people.
Sure.
She falls under, I'm big. She falls under that
Right.
that category, right? Okay, so she went missing in February 2018 after witnesses say they saw her ex-boyfriend forcefully abduct her, okay? Though he was in prison later for like unrelated crimes, all right? The police were never able to like stick charges
Right,
on him,
prove it,
okay?
sure.
Or provide sufficient evidence, right? She made a domestic violence complaint against him weeks before the kidnapping after he beat her physically and with a hammer.
Ow! Come on.
Yeah, and then dropped the charges
She
just
did.
days before he
was.
kidnapped her.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. So people know who it was. I can't remember what happened. Yeah, he never ended up doing
Getting
time for
time.
that particular crime.
And now she's dead.
And amongst like people just like her, it is by far the worst. The violence against those women and
Indigenous, the
and
Indians.
solving those cases is just terrible. Because most police just don't want to deal with the reservations. You know what I mean? There's a lot of
Again, it's
muddy
the
water
wrong-
there. Yeah.
It's the wrong attitude. I watched enough shows to know that the first 48 hours are the most crucial in missing teenagers, people. Like, that's the attitude. Let's go gun-ho, black, white, indigenous. It doesn't matter.
If
But
missing person's
right
a
in our
missing person, yeah.
exactly. Why should it matters? Because look at the numbers. It matters, Gabby. And again, that that story's crazy in itself. But look at it is educated black men getting no I don't want to say attention. I don't know, nothing. And we see on the other side Gabby getting the attention or the focus or whatever, the energy of the cops. It seems right, and the media. God damn the media. God damn the media.
Like my girl brought this up to me the other day because there were people squawking and pissing and moaning on social media. Oh, well, you're just racist, so why do you have a problem with this? And there's thousands of white girls that go missing all the time, and we don't hear about it. Yes, you're right.
That's the problem.
I'm sure that there are hundreds of white girls that we don't hear about all the time. But when's the last time you had a nationwide manhunt where you had Dog the Bounty Hunter and all these other motherfuckers to come look for a little black kid?
That's
Dog
a real
the
thing.
When's the last time people went all out like that for a little black kid or a little Mexican kid or a little native
Speaking
kid?
of Mexican, thank you
happen.
for that.
It doesn't.
Dulce Maria Alvarez. We got to go to break, actually. We're cutting it really close. When we come back, we're going to talk about her and finish this up so these guys can freaking rip one into the everybody involved. So we'll finish this segment. Stay tuned. If you care about children, missing children, or minorities, if you don't, change the channel. It's the Podheads.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? It's your boys Frank the Tank and JB Perez from the Podheads Web Show. Here to remind you to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, hit the alerts button if you want to find out every time we drop some new fire.
Yeah, that's right. And we're dropping new videos every day at 4:20. So if you like what you saw, click here or here for more content from the Podheads.